Hello and welcome to the workshop. On today's episode, I'm going to turn 5,000 matches into a hot looking project. Now the first thing I need to do is take all these matches, take them out of their packets and cut off the heads. Lucky last one. Check out my match mountain. It's huge. So now that all my matches are out of the packets, it's time to start cutting them up. And I think the best way to do that is with a guillotine. Only 4,999 to go. So now that I have all my match heads cut, it's time to get some resin ready. It's now time to add the match heads. Now I think to limit my chance of failure with this, I'm going to pop this into the vacuum chamber so I can pull all the air out that's in those matchsticks and replace them with resin. While that resin's in the vacuum chamber, I thought we could do a fun little experiment. This is all the powder that come off the match heads when I tipped them out of the bucket, and I thought it might be cool to see how big a flame we get once we light it up. Well, that was cool. Now, do you think there's any chance of that happening once I start turning them on the lathe? Let me know. Now, before I go ahead and put this in the pressure pot to cure, I want to create a void in the middle. Now, since I'm turning this into a coffee mug, we don't need the middle. Now I'm going to create my void by using this plastic cup. Now to stop this cup from floating while it's curing, I'm going to add some of these scrap resin pieces I've got. Now that's working really great. Now to stop it from moving side to side, I'm going to glue on this stick. Okay, that's looking really good, but I think I'll add a couple more pieces just for good luck. Okay, maybe just one. Let's put it in the pot. It's now been a few days since I poured this, so it's time to let the air out and take a look. Got it. Wow, that looks awesome. That turned out really good. So the next thing I need to do is glue on my waste block so we can start turning it on the lathe. Now there is one thing I noticed, and that is the cup that I had in the middle did move off center, but that's not going to affect us too much because once I get it on the lathe, I'll be able to center this hole up by using my chisels. While I'm waiting for this glue to dry, I want you guys to let me know what I should do with these. These are the 5,000 matchsticks that I've got left over, and I reckon they could make a cool project. I reckon it might be cool if I can somehow glue all these together and then cast this in one big container. Like this one. This container's massive. Now before I start working on the outside, I really want to sort out this hole in the middle here. Now this is normally the part of the video where you see me give it a sand and a polish, but I'm going to do things a little different on this one. I'll still be sanding it, but I won't be polishing it, and I'll explain a bit more later on. So now that I've finished sanding, it's time for me to explain what I plan on doing with the finish. Now for the outside, I'll be using a product called Diamond Coat. It's a high viscosity coating resin. And for the inside, I'll be using a different product called Water Coat. This is a food safe resin that's water based. Now if any of you guys want to try those resins for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description as to where you can find them. Now the way I'm going to apply it is to put it back on the lathe, slowly spin it, and then put it on with a brush. Before I put on the resin, the first thing I need to do is cover my bed with this silicone mat. That way it'll catch any drips. Now the other thing I need is a large bucket. That way I can cover the piece while it's curing to stop any dust. Now one more thing I need to do before I apply the resin is to give it a clean with some isopropyl alcohol. The brush that I'm going to use to apply the resin has these little silicone bristles. It makes it a lot easier to clean. Now one more thing I need to do before I cover it up is to give it a quick flame to pop any bubbles. While I was waiting for this resin to set, I was having a think about whether or not I wanted to put a handle on it. Now my first thought was to use this lighter and just glue it on the side here, but I'm just not sure if I like it. I do have a blue one as well that I could use, but I'm just not sure. I think I need a second opinion. So what do you think about this? I'm thinking about putting a handle on the side, but I'm just not too sure. I do like it, but I'm not sure if I should do it. What do you think?
Geez, I don't know. I like it without it.
Without it?
Yeah.
I kind of like it with it, but I'm just not sure. Well, I kind of like it with the handle, and Nicole likes it without. So I guess we need a deciding vote. So it's up to you guys. Let me know, on or off. Now let's check it out.